Recording in
Sekejap. Baiklah, try tengok full screen. Okay tak? Dengar tak? Okay, dengar. Yum. How about this? Okay, present full screen. Oh. Okay, nice. Okay, we may start now. Everyone's here, isn't it? Okay. Jom kita start. Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very, very good morning to our beloved madam, and also, of course, to all my group mates. So basically, without further ado, we are going to start our presentation regarding the scope, the topic that we choose, which is no poverty. Okay, so my name is Islam Razali. I'll be the first presenter for today. Before we go further, I would like to share a video that I've made several years before this regarding the poverty. Okay, this is as the introduction of our presentation. So hope you guys enjoy it.
We are now facing a global scale of extinction. If we ever heard about Holocene extinction, we are facing it right now. The world that we know before is no longer the same world as it is today. We are at the end of it. Our climate change problem is becoming worse. The volcanoes start to give the warning. Our iceberg is melting. We are no longer in the position where we could just sit back, relax and enjoy. We must do something. Earth is becoming older and older. Everything must have the end, including our world. Underneath the busyness that we are going through, we are facing a global scale of man-made disaster. Our forest is burning. The fire is scorching upon our world. Our world is flooding. Earth is sinking. The storm is raging. The world is different. We cannot stop all of this, but we can save our people from poverty. Yes.
Hello, you mute.
Sorry. Okay, sorry. Okay, so basically that's just an introduction of our video, and now we are going to start with the background of our topic. Honestly, this is something that we are concerned about because these problems of poverty has been occurring around us since the day we born until now, and not just the day we born, even the day before we born. For us, when the world actually pursuing something that we call as wealth, the world has lost its purpose, basically. And what I mean by world is us, the humankind. Okay, wealth can be defined as many things. Okay, wealth can be defined as having a lot of money, having a lot of luxury cars, having a big house, enormous mansion, having a tall building. But for us, our team, our group 4, our group, which is group 4, we are affirming that wealth is something that we gain through happiness while helping the people, while contributing to the society. That's what our team, Paz de Pobrete, believe wealth is. So basically, the world is a harsh place, all right? As you guys can see nowadays, a lot of problems, a lot of things, a lot of cases of poverty occurring, like I've mentioned before. And if you guys ever heard about the terms survival of the fittest, which is coined by Herbert Spencer, honestly, he is not the man that's in fault for coining this term. He's just affirming the philosophy of the world that we live now, that we are living nowadays, and not just nowadays, but starting from the era of Adam and Eve. Okay? Survival of the fittest, and especially now, where we have a lot of people that is living in the abyss of poverty, which they are unfortunate. So we believe that as the fittest, which is the fittest in society, means that the rich, the person in power, the person in charge, the person responsible, as the fittest, we believe that they should provide and they should help, they should do something more to help eradicates the problems of poverty. So basically, we have came up with the trinity, okay, of three powerful sprout that is going to be the main concern for this topic. And the first, as you guys can see in the slide, is government, and then moving towards NGO, and then moving towards super rich person or billionaire or multi-millionaire or millionaire, and then they interlink together, become the powerful trinity. And this powerful trinity shall be the root of our topic, which is the awareness campaign among Amazurian regarding the true causes of the failure to eradicate the poverty in Malaysia. And based on this topic, which I've mentioned just now, the root that we have mentioned just now, which is about the powerful trinity, we came out with the two scope of our topic of our campaign, or basically we can say that from the topic of our campaign, we make it precise, and we came out with the two scope to make it much precise. And the two scope shall be a centralized, the first one is a centralized and systematic funds system of funds delegation from NGOs. That's the first one. And the number two is new law to be imposed to the super rich to ensure they provide maximum benefit towards the citizen who suffered in poverty. So as you guys can see, this two scope is interlinked together with the government, NGO, and super rich. However, we just want to mention that the most powerful sprout from each of from the three sprout that I've mentioned just now shall be the government, because from the two scope you guys can see that the government are the one who going to centralize the NGO. The government are the one who's going to impose the law for the super rich in order for them to help the person in poverty. So basically, our goal is to raise the awareness among the Amazurian regarding the true causes that make us fail to basically eliminate the issue of poverty in the country, based on our belief, our team's belief, that NGO is yet to be super effective, and number two, the super rich doesn't contribute enough to eradicate the problems of poverty. So that's the background of our topic. And without further ado, the reason on why we choose our topic is because we believe that to survive is one thing, but to help is another thing. To survive, you just think about your own, but to help people, you think about the whole, about another person, not just yourself. So basically, there's a case before where Elon Musk tried to offer a billion amount of billion billions dollar to United Nations, but they to end the world hunger, but United Nations rejected the $1 billion from Elon Musk because it doesn't make sense. The problem is not money. That's what I want to affirm here, because Elon Musk even stated that the problem is not money. Clearly, the problem is not money, but the system. So this is why we have to change our system, overall system, to make our world, to make our country is successful on exterminating the problems of poverty. So without further ado, we go into the section 1 demographic side. This is a simple one where we managed to get the respondents from all the faculty, which is SCA, VMP, FISE, FHS, SAS, and SPH, except for one, which is IMS. We couldn't get any respondents from the International Medical School. And the gender shall be, we got a lot of females, which is 24% is a female, and 8% is male out of 32 respondents. And currently pursuing education level, as you can see on the slides, degree is the total respondent that is currently pursuing degree is 24 versus the diploma, which is 8 only. All right. So without further ado, we shall move to this analysis of each of the charts, of each of the answers from the question we get, each of the question and the answer we got. So for the second section after demographic, which is the section 2, general knowledge. Okay, pass to the next presenter.
Hello, so my name is Zeti Tasnim. So I will present about the section 2, which is the general knowledge. So for the question 1, according to the pie chart above, the majority of students acknowledge poverty as common and general knowledge and sometimes speak about it. Meanwhile, there are also some of the students who do not know about the existence of poverty in society. For the second question, the question is about, do you acknowledge that Malaysia still possesses a numbers of poverty cases? Sorry, I repeat again. For question number 2 of general knowledge, the accompanying donut chart shows that 96.9% of students acknowledge about the poverty cases in Malaysia. Meanwhile, some of the students are not aware of the poverty cases, which is 3.1%. Next question. And next is question 3. Only 87.5% respondents, or a sizable majority, say yes, I have seen it, when asked if they had ever personally witnessed someone living in poverty. And only 12.5% of respondents, or a very small percentage, choose no, I haven't seen it as their option. I will pass to the next presenter.
Okay, so hi, my name is Alia. I'll be presenting question number 4. Okay, so the question is that, do you know about the existence of lots of NGOs and also super rich people in our country? So as you can see on the chart, almost all of the survey respondent, which is 93.8%, acknowledge the presence of the NGOs and also the wealthy individual in our country who could actually play the role in tackling this poverty. But only a small minority of respondents, which is 6.2%, were unaware of this situation, which means that most of the respondents are aware of the resources and also the support available to help address this poverty issue in Malaysia. So for the question 5, which is, don't you think it's weird that with such a lot of NGOs and super rich people, we still have a worrying numbers of the poverty cases? Okay, so the survey asked people if they found it strange that despite the a lot of the NGOs and also the rich people in our country, the poverty cases are still high. Okay, so the majority of the respondent, which is 50% respondent, respond with maybe, which indicate the lack of confidence in current initiative to eliminate this poverty issue. So additionally, 37.5% found the situation weird or slightly weird, while only a small percentage thought it was normal. So overall, the significant numbers of the respondents were concerned about the coexistence of the wealthy person and also the poverty in our country. I will pass to the next presenter.
Hold on. Wait, sorry. Izra. Okay, never mind.
Yes. Okay,
Dah
you
apa, dah
continue.
apa.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Ainin Hayani Binti Kamal. You guys can hear me right? Boleh dengar tak?
Boleh.
I will present section 3, which is NGO. So we asked the respondent, do you know the existence of NGO in Malaysia? Based on the pie chart that shown in the slide, majority of MSU students or 75%, which is 24 of 32 people know about the existence of NGO in Malaysia. Some of students, or 18%, which is 6 of 32, may know the existence but not sure the actual function of the NGO. And the rest, they not know what the NGO are and what their their existence. Thank you.
Alright, so we are moving towards the second question of the section 3, which is under NGOs section. Okay, basically, the question 2 and question 3 is interrelated with each other. Because these two questions is basically interlinked because we want to get the feedback from the people which with experience in NGO field, regardless whether they are the one who received the help or they are the one who giving the help, meaning and joining the NGO itself. So basically, as you guys can see clearly on the pie chart I've provided there, is that the total of 25 have experience in NGO or received the help from them, and only 7 out of 32 respondents doesn't have any sort of experience with NGO. So this is a good news for us, because because by this we know that our respondents is competent enough to answer the surveys of this question and to give their feedback, whether they are supporting our idea or not. So when we see the question 3, out of 25 that said yes before this, whether they experience in NGO or not, only 7 answer the feedback. Only 7 share to us some feedback. So basically, and from the total of 7, only, if I'm not mistaken, only 4 of the feedback that we can use, we are capable to use as a data, because from the 7, 2 of the feedback doesn't actually answer the question, as you because they stated like no, or maybe they say that I joined NGO to help flood victims at Hulu Langat back in 2022. So that's not what we want to know. We just want to know the feedback from them. So the remaining of 3 opinion, the remaining of 4 feedback that we can use, they raise their concern and opinion that the NGO actually really helps the society, and most of them stated that the NGO has contributed a lot to the society, while the other feedback stated that opinion that we currently possess too many NGOs and they were not coordinated. So we can see here that one of the respondent raised her or his concern regarding that we have too many NGOs and they are not coordinated and not centralized. So basically, this is a good news, because this is going to be helpful for our future question. Moving on to the next.
do you think that our NGO managed to help decrease the number of poor in Malaysia? So according to the 3D chart in the slide, so the majority of students agree NGO managed to help to decrease the number of poor people in Malaysia, which is 47%. Percent. 9% of who vote yes, they are show that despite the lack of number, then the student MNC are really aware about the positive impact of NGO to the poor. Whereas 34% of the student vote maybe. We are certain about their impact, and 19% vote not so, which means they are aware to the never-ending issue with the poverty despite the NGO support. Next. Okay, regarding to the NGO, in column, based on the column, MSU student vote satisfactory for the rate of NGO contribution. Meanwhile, second column, most of student rate fair for the effectiveness of NGO. While the second leading, as you can see, it's many people vote satisfactory juga. Satisfactory. The third largest vote were very good. The minority vote poor. In the third column, when we ask about whether they think the NGO manage to cover the larger amount of the needy. So the larger amount of a respondent vote fair, and the little vote are very good. So no vote for the excellent. This means that many people aware despite the appreciated of effort, they only cover very little of the problem. We also ask the respondent if they think they can help in the long term. So as you can see, most students vote fair also as their answer, which is we can see they also can't be sure, they're not sure the NGO will help in the long term. As you can see, the vote, the column, like as you can see in the column, the larger vote is very good, and the very little vote for the excellent. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Nur Afina Husna binti Muhammad Sharif. So my part is start from question 6. So how far do you agree with this statement from the scale 1 until 5? So you guys can see based on question above regarding the agreement of many students in this chart, follow the majority of the category is 3, meaning they quite agree with us about this statement. Okay, next. So question 7, are you aware with the fact that there are a lot of cases where the poor doesn't acknowledged by the NGOs? So 90% of our respondents coming from different backgrounds, courses, faculty, and different classes acknowledge such fact, and only 2 respondents vote no. Next. Question 8. This data, as our intention for this question is open the eyes of the respondent or give them some sort of idea on what the NGOs are currently facing. Okay. Next.
Okay, question 9, we don't have any data collected because this is question 9 is about opinion, and they don't have any opinion stated in the answers section. So we are moving to the question 10. Okay, all right. For the question 10, basically question 10, I would like to affirm again that question 10 has a strong relation with the question, previous question, which is the question number 7 and number 8, as they are concerning questions number 7 and number 8 concerning about the fact that we want to affirm that there's a fact that there are a lot of cases where the poor doesn't acknowledged by the NGOs, and we have listed several of the problems before. So this question is the question that we want to ask. Do you think that all the problems listed above shall be eradicated if all the NGOs in Malaysia is centralized by one body to govern in order to ensure the eradication of poverty in Malaysia in long term? I mean to say that this question is in relation with the previous question that we stated that there's a lot of problems occurring at the NGO sites. So do you think that if we ask the respondent, if we centralize the NGO under one body, which is under government, is this some sort of a good things for them to eliminate all the problems that we have listed before? So basically, as you guys can see in the slide, most of them actually voted maybe, because they are not certainly sure about this. And I could say that only the small minority voted not at all and not so. And the remaining vote slightly necessary and yes, it is necessary. Meaning to say that our respondents, I would like to say that majority of our respondents is quite agree with us. Even though at the maybe side, this maybe side, the respondent that voted maybe is the one that we are going to we are trying to pursue them and give them enlightenment about this idea and make them move to the right rather than move to the left. Okay, all right, so we move on to the next, which is question 11, and after this I'm going to create a new Zoom link because the time is almost running out. Okay, so for the question 11, the question shall be please state the reasons for your choice above, which is the previous slides, previous question. So based on the data that we managed to collect from question 11, we came up with the two pie charts because the data required two pie charts. And the first pie chart, which is the blue one, is the total number of respondents who stated the reasons for their choice on question 10. From the total of 32 respondents, only 7 leave it on NIL. And the numbers of the balance of 25 respondents stated their reasons. And the second pie chart, which is the remaining 25 respondents stated out of 25 respondents that stated their reasons, we managed to classify their opinions and reasons into 3 categories, which is not too centralized, not sure, and centralized NGO. Basically, we gathered all the data from them, we gathered all the opinions from them, and we managed to come up with the 3 different categories from each of the opinion. So only 4 people raising their voice that stating no to centralized. 3 people simply stated not sure. And the majority of them, which is the 18 respondents, say yes and affirming about the centralization of NGO, and this is a good sign. Okay, I think I'm going to make a new link. You guys can join. Okay, everyone ready? Okay, all right. Last. Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. Dengar tak?
Dengar.
Okay, hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Wana Amira Ayuni. Today I will present section 4, which is super rich. For the question 1, next.
Okay, for the question 1, we are quite surprised because based on our analysis of the chart above, it states the Amazonian who are our respondents are aware of the existence of the top rich people in Malaysia as a percentage of 71.90% said yes, while a percentage of 28.1%, 28.10% said no. Next. Okay, for the question 2, the majority of respondents, around 84.40%, thought the helping the poor coming from rich people like Abilu in the illustration is a good example that other rich people can follow, while 50.60% disagree. Next. Okay, for the question 3, based on the chart, it clearly shows that the majority of respondents do not know the fact about the benefits of the number of rich people in Malaysia. Namely, those who do not know for the 50.40% said no, while those who do know 40.60% said yes. We have expected this and this is why this question is with the intention of informing the responding about the fact. Next.
Okay, hello, my name is Kafi Hadid. I will explain question number 4 and 5. Question number 4, just imagine if we take half of the total of 370 billion ringgit Malaysia, which is going to be 185 billion ringgit Malaysia, and that divide equally with all the population in Malaysia, which is 32 and 900,000. It's an every citizen in Malaysia will get 5.6 ringgit Malaysia per person. We are talking about how only half of the world can support each human being in Malaysia. What half of the money was delegated to all the poor in Malaysia? Don't you think that there shall be no person left in poverty anymore? That is the case. From this question, we can imagine if the 50 richest people in Malaysia can share half of their with all the poor people in Malaysia, then how much compensation?
Tak buka video ke, Fi?
Hah?
Tak buka video ke? I cannot see your face. And then continue je, tak apa. Ada? I can't see your face. Turn on your camera, I think. Yes. Okay. Continue explaining. Sorry.
Dari awal nih.
No, just continue from the last. We should stop.
Okay. Okay, from this question, we can imagine if the 50 richest people in Malaysia can share half of their wealth with all the poor people in Malaysia, then how much compensation can be given to the poor Malaysia, and of course help their life? Based on the analysis of the charts above, we can see we managed to see that majority of our respondents quite agree with us, and the second stage shall be the scale 4, and the following is the scale 5, with the total of who really agree with this fact, and only one person completely disagree with this fact that's above. Based on the chart above, the total of 3 people from category of not agree, and the rest agree with us even though on the scale of 3. So from the calculation of the richest people in Malaysia, they are actually able to meet the needs of the poor people in Malaysia. Therefore, maybe we can draw some conclusion on opinion that poverty actually does not exist. Only social inequality that makes the rich more oppression. Okay, question number 5 is do you believe that the super rich provide more the society, especially assisting the government on the eradication of poverty, or on other word, it's such a great idea for the super rich people to help the poor in Malaysia. Without any hesitation, we shall say, we said on the chart above, the all of respondents completely agree with us when we said above how the should contribute more toward the society, where none of the one of the scale 1 and 2, which is under the category of disagree or slightly disagree. Majority of the scale 4, which they slightly second winner shall be on the scale 5, where they completely agree with us, and the remaining 7 respondents quite agree with us. Okay, next.
Okay, so for the question 6, which is those are the lists that you think might be the great idea on how the capitalist should provide as the long-term instrument to eradicate the poverty in Malaysia. So as you can see, the bar chart presents the responses of the respondent about the question on how the capitalists can help in fixing this poverty issue in Malaysia. Okay, so 21 out of 32 suggested providing most of the respondent, which is 25 out of 32 person, favored creating job opportunities for the poor. And then 21 out of 32 suggested providing scholarship for the underprivileged person, while 18 out of 32 respondents choose the protection program, where they wanted to make it compulsory for the rich individual to at least support 200 low incomes family. And then next is 17 out of 32 respondents suggested offering a better living condition, which is access to the internet and computer, and also also a better housing. And then the last one is that only 1 out of 32 respondents choose the option of training the poor about their financial management skills. And I will pass to the next presenter.
Okay, for the question 8, based on the pie chart, respondent agree that 90.60% said yes. Why 9.40% said no. The fact that we need a law to provide maximum benefit to society that will be imposed on the super rich, or they will not do it. This can help the poor so that they too can progress like the rich. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, so I will present about the final section, question 1. So the aforementioned graph displays the number of votes cast on several issues related to causes of the failure for us to eradicate poverty in our country due to the NGOs are not centralized and less systematic, and the super rich don't contribute enough. The majority of MSc students choose a rating of 4 on a range of 1 to 5, which was agreed upon by all. And on a scale of 1 to 5, the minority of students who are adamantly opposed agree. So next question. Okay, so the next question is question 2 for the final section. The view that NGOs should collaborate as one force to ensure the regular flow of finance and campaigns as well as working together to find the needy and plan to routinely aid them under the one centralized and systematic body is the subject of question number 2 of the final section. The aforementioned pie chart demonstrates that a portion of students or the majority of students voted yes by casting a ballot. But in addition to that, just a small percentage of students or 9.4% cast no votes. So I will pass to the next presenter.
Hi, I will present question number 3 for final section. So according to pie chart in the slide, the vast majority of the students agree that as someone who possesses the wealth in this country by virtue of the blessing, contribution from the worker, which is citizen of the country, and also from the customer, which is they agree that the super wealthy does not contribute enough to help the poor citizen. It contribute enough to help the poor in this nation. Only a few people vote for no. Thank you.
Yeah, actually,
So for final section,
oh, sorry, my bad. Actually, we have question 4. Okay, before that, sorry. Question 4, I just want to affirm that this is just an opinion and also the last word from the respondents. So we don't actually insert all of the opinions and basically all of their feedback about this questionnaire. So we will move to the next presenter.
okay. So for final section, question 5, how far do you agree with our campaign scope? A centralized and systemic system of funds delegation from NGOs, new law to be imposed to the super rich to ensure they provide maximum benefits towards the citizen who suffer in poverty, a helping hand from the rich. To this bar chart, most of them slightly agree because according to our people Malaysia, we need help if we impose new laws. Next. Lastly, final selection question 6. Are you interested to contribute further to this research in the near future to ensure the better life for our citizen who lives in poverty and be part of the hero who will change their destiny? So for the respondents, many say yes and 31.3% says no. According to this pie chart, most of them prefer yes to be a part of hero in this statement. Okay, done.
Okay, now we are moving to the our friend.
For the final part, I will share the opinion about our project. Centralization is needed and it must be monitored just as how the judiciary monitored the executive and legislature. And another one is the law must be enforced towards the super rich. The help from them must be an obligation. And lastly, if the communist system really want to eliminate the social gap by exterminating the rights of citizens to rise up, no matter what they do, our system shall be not like that. Instead, we are suggesting the super rich to help the government eliminate any poverty case. Thus, paz de pavurte. Thank you. That's all from me.
Alright, so now we have come to the conclusion of this overall presentation of this topic. Basically, I managed to make the conclusion as short as possible for this presentation because I've talked a lot before. So, okay, I'm so sorry about the technical issue. Okay, basically, I've managed to cramp all the long conclusion to be only a small part and in one quote or in one word. So rather than survival of the fittest, why don't we change it to helping hand from the fittest or of the fittest? So basically, what we want to affirm here, but what our team want to affirm here is that rather than the person in power, the people in power, the people with a lot of money, the people with wealth are the one who's going to survive in this world. Why don't they are the one who's going to help the one who is not fit enough, or the one who is living in the poverty, specifically for this topic? Why don't they help them? Why don't they close the gap of the social gap and social certification? So basically, that's all from us, Group 4 or Team Pavdi Preventer, and we would like to say thank you so much to Madam, and thank you so much to all my group mates and everyone listening to this. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.